Ever tuned into a radio station in the dead of night, only to hear the voice of the long dead? Picture this. It's a late, stormy night, and I'm alone on the road. The rain is pounding against the windshield, and the wipers are working overtime, swishing back and forth in a futile attempt to clear my view. The only company I have is the faint glow of the dashboard and the crackling voice on the radio. It's a comforting presence, a beacon of familiarity in the midst of the relentless storm. I fumble with the dial, seeking solace in the airwaves. Suddenly, a voice breaks through the static. A man with a voice that's hauntingly familiar, yet strangely out of place. It's warm, it's rich, it's eerie. "Good evening, ladies and gents," he begins. "This is your host for the night, signing in from the other side." The words hang in the air, heavy with a chilling implication. I shake off the unease, attributing it to the late hour and the storm outside. The DJ continues his monologue, his voice a mix of nostalgia and melancholy. He introduces himself as a man who died on air decades ago. The statement sends a shiver down my spine. The hairs on the back of my neck stand on end. The eerie background music, dark and sinister, does nothing to alleviate the growing sense of dread. It's as if the storm outside has seeped into the car, its cold fingers reaching out to touch my soul. I'm about to switch stations when the DJ announces a song dedication. His voice, once a source of comfort, now chills me to the bone. "This next tune," he says, "is a special one. It's for the lonely soul on the road tonight, braving the storm." As the first strains of the song filled the car, the DJ dedicated it to me, his voice chilling me to the bone. Who knew a simple song dedication could hold such a sinister promise? As the last notes of the chilling song echoed through the car, the lyrics, once thought to be benign, now seemed to hold a dark prophecy. A haunting melody, a somber tale of a traveler meeting an untimely end on a stormy night. The rain pounding on the roof and the windows of the car seemed to be in perfect harmony with the tragic symphony. The DJ's voice, eerily calm and strangely familiar, cut through the silence that followed the song. His words, once comforting, now sent a cold shiver up the spine. He spoke about the night, the storm, and the journey. His voice, a spectral presence in the car, felt like a ghostly passenger, sharing in the solitude of the late-night drive. And then, another song, a dedication, not for me this time, but for someone named Sarah. The DJ's voice, tinged with a hint of sadness, spoke of a lonely heart and a long drive home. The song started, a melancholic tune, a lament for a lost love, a lonely journey. The connection was chilling. The song, the storm, the solitary drive. It felt like the DJ was spinning a tale of doom, one song at a time. The DJ's voice filled the car once more, his next dedication sending shivers down my spine. Is it possible for a ghost to orchestrate a tragedy from the airwaves? A question that, under normal circumstances, would incite laughter rather than fear. But this is no ordinary situation. The tale of the ghost DJ who meets his untimely demise on air has been the stuff of late-night radio legends for decades. The disembodied voice, speaking from a timeless void, dedicating songs to unsuspecting listeners. It was all fun and games, a harmless urban legend, until it wasn't. As the ominous melodies continued to pour through the speakers, the realization began to dawn. Those dedications, they weren't just random. They were omens, forewarnings of a cruel fate that was about to befall. The ghost DJ wasn't just a spectral disc jockey. He was a harbinger of doom. The narrative shifts now, from the confines of the car to the observer's perspective, giving us a chilling glimpse into the horror that awaits. The rain comes down harder now, a relentless storm that turns the road into a slick, treacherous path. The car, like a helpless boat in a tempest, struggles to navigate the storm. And then it happens. The car skids, its tires losing their grip on the rain-soaked asphalt. The world outside the windshield becomes a blur of lights and shadows, a terrifying ballet of chaos and fear. The car, once a sanctuary from the storm, is now a prison, hurling its occupant towards an inevitable tragedy. The sound of crushing metal and shattering glass is drowned out by the haunting voice of the ghost DJ. His words, once an eerie form of entertainment, are now a terrifying prophecy coming to fruition. The song dedication, a chilling prelude to the gruesome spectacle that unfolds. And then, silence. The storm continues its relentless assault, oblivious to the carnage it has indirectly caused. The car, a twisted wreckage, lies defeated by the side of the road. And through the static-filled silence, the DJ's voice echoes one last time. As the car skidded off the road, the DJ's voice echoed through the wreckage, his words a chilling epitaph. What if the voice on the radio isn't just a voice, but a harbinger of death? Picture this: a car, twisted and mangled, the aftermath of an accident that defies understanding. The rain is pounding, washing away the evidence of the horror that unfolded just moments ago. Inside the wreckage, the radio is still playing, its signal undisturbed by the chaos around it. The DJ's voice, eerily calm amid the storm, dedicates a song to another listener. His voice, once comforting, now sends a shiver down your spine. It's a chilling realization, like the cold touch of a phantom. This isn't just a late-night radio host, this is something more sinister, something not of this world. As the DJ's words echo in the still night, a suspicion takes root. The songs, the dedications, they're not just music or simple shout-outs. They're a signal, a marker, a selection. A dark pattern begins to emerge from the static and the white noise. Each dedication, a prelude to disaster. Each song, a chilling death knell. The DJ's voice, a ghostly echo from the past, hides a malevolent intent. He's not just broadcasting from the beyond, he's selecting victims, using the airwaves to reach out from the afterlife. The songs he plays, they're not just tunes, they're a death sentence, a grim lottery where the prize is a horrific end. The radio host, a spectral presence on the airwaves, is more than a ghost, more than an echo of a lifelong lost. He's become a puppeteer, pulling at the strings of fate, turning the dial of destiny. His voice, once a source of comfort in the lonely hours of the night, is now a chilling reminder of the thin line between life and death. As his chilling voice faded out, I understood. The DJ wasn't just a ghost, he was death's messenger. Can you ever escape the grasp of the ghost of the airwaves? It's a question that has haunted me ever since that fateful night. The night I heard my name over the airwaves, the night I narrowly escaped death's cold grip. The crash was grotesque, a scene straight out of a horror show. Twisted metal and shattered glass. The storm, previously a mere backdrop, now a relentless antagonist, lashing me with freezing rain as I pulled myself from the wreckage. I was lucky, or so I thought. My body was battered, but alive. My mind, however, was another story. The voice, that cursed voice, stayed with me. It lingered in my ears, a ghostly echo that refused to fade. It was as if the DJ had crawled inside my head, his chilling laughter reverberating through my thoughts. The songs he played, once familiar melodies, were now twisted into sinister lullabies that haunted my dreams. I was not free. I had survived the crash, but I was trapped, a prisoner in my own mind. The ghost of the airwaves had claimed me, not as a victim, but as a captive audience to his macabre show. Days turned into weeks, then months. The voice became my constant companion, a spectral presence that was always there, always watching, always waiting. It was a cruel twist of fate. I had escaped death, only to be ensnared by something far worse. Then one night, as I sat alone, the voice began to change. It was no longer addressing me. It was talking to someone else. A shiver ran down my spine as I recognized the tone, the cadence. It was the same way he had spoken to me that night, the night of the crash. "A special dedication for you," he cooed, and I felt a chill run down my spine. The DJ was moving on, setting his sights on a new victim. I was no longer the target, but the witness. I was to bear silent testimony to the unending cycle of horror. As the haunting strains of the new dedication filled the air, I couldn't help but wonder, who would be the next victim of the ghost of the airwaves?